This video is brought to you by PCBWay.com. PCBWay is a great website where you can get professional grade PCBs for a low cost. At PCBWay, you can find manufacturing capabilities like CNC machining, sheet metal fabrication, 3D printing, injection molding, and PCB manufacturing. In search of one of these services, then look no further. Flawless quality, sky is the limit possibilities, and extraordinary services, all at PCBWay.com.
Hello there YouTube. Today I'm going to show you guys how to install a Fluiddpi through Klipper on your Raspberry Pi, and as I promised on the last video, this is a tutorial. So without further ado, I'll start which steps that you have to follow to be able to install all of the programs on your Raspberry Pi. So first of all, you plug in your USB, micro SD through USB on your PC, and once it's plugged in, make sure it's empty and there is no files on it that you might need in the future. First, you just open this GitHub page from Fluiddpi, and then you scroll down. You can download the latest release here. I tried the latest one. Let me show you. I tried to download the v1.17.0 and it gave me issues. So I tried the release before that, which is v1.16.2, this one, and it's working fine. So I'm gonna show you how to do on this version. So I clicked on the Fluiddpi RPI Lite version, the zip file. Now it's downloading. Once this is downloaded, we can start to unzip it. But whilst it's downloading, I'll show you the next program that you will need, which is Win32 Disk Imager. You just download this program. Just wait for the countdown. All right, I think it's already there. Yeah. So let's install Win32 Disk Imager first. I accept. That's all right. Image writer. I'll make this fast, and let's launch it as well. So it's showing the image file that's gonna come here, which is still downloading, I think. Yes, only 50 seconds, 50-ish. I'm downloading through Wi-Fi, so it might take a little more. So let's download more programs as it's downloading the Fluiddpi. So you also need to download the program called Putty. So here you can download Putty. Just installer MSI. Did it download? Yes, we have it. So we'll install Putty as well. Yes. No need to see the files. So it's also installed, and we also need another program called WinSCP, which is this one. Let's download it as well. Let me see if it's downloaded. Yes. And let's install it as well. Yes. All right. With the commander, let's install it. Okay. we won't turn it on yet. So the next program that you will need if you are going to use Wi-Fi through your Raspberry Pi through Klipper, then you will also need to download Notepad++, which you can get here. Download. Right, let's install it. Let me choose English because all my programs seems to be in Dutch. English, yes. All right. I agree. Just install. We don't need to run it yet. Okay, so we downloaded all the programs that we will need to install the whole assembly. And let me check if the zip file is here. Yes, it is. So let me open it. Okay, so here is the zip file. Just I'm gonna copy it. I'm gonna put it on my desktop. It's gonna unzip it. All right, so we can close this. So now we go back to our program Win32 Disk Imager, and then we choose the file that we just unzipped, which is Klipper Fluiddpi. It's on my desktop. This one it is. Open. So I selected the image file. So now it's the target folder is here, which is my USB, and you just choose write. So here put write. It gives you a message to say that everything will be deleted, and do you want to go further, yes or no? So I choose yes. So it's starting to write this, but this might take a while before it's finished, so I'm gonna pause the video and then resume when it's almost finished. So now it's finished. You will get this message to format your drive. Just say cancel and you will get this error. No problem, just okay. So it took about 8 minutes and 40 seconds at my drive to flash this image. So you can now close this. It's closed. Now we have to get the file. Let me check where it is. Here. So as I said, if you are using Wi-Fi on your board, on your Raspberry Pi, then you will have to go here, Fluidpi VPA supplicant, and you just right click it and edit with Notepad. When you open this file, you just scroll down a little and just here, just this tab here, and you just take these hashtags away. These have to go. Voila. And then you just where it says put your SSID here, you just type in your SSID, which mine is, for example, Telenet, and then you put in your password here, password, whatever your password is. You type this in and then you just click on save. When you save this, it has gone here. So at the moment you're completely finished on the micro SD card to flash the image file. You can close this one. From here we have to go to the program Putty. let's see here, and then you type in fluidpi.local, then you enter it. All right, then, oh, sorry. Sorry, I missed a step. This can happen. What you have to do first is put your Raspberry Pi, um, well, turn it on and wait like 2 to 3 minutes or 5 minutes. Just wait a little for it to boot. So I'm gonna do it now. So now the Raspberry Pi should have started. So let's try it again. Putty, just open the program and then fluidpi.local. Yes, and you get this screen. You just say accept, and here you just log in with Pi and then Raspberry. We are logged in. In this menu we have to get to the folder of Klipper, cd Klipper, and then we have to put in this command, make menu config, and then you get this screen. From this screen you have to choose your microcontroller from your mainboard of your printer. So we click that, and then we just choose, let me see, sorry, here you just, hold on, cancel, let me go here, and then you choose here for your bootloader offset, you choose the third option, 28K, and from this you have to also choose your communication interface. First I tried CAN bus, it didn't work, so I choose serial, and that's the one that works for me. Let me see if I have to change here something. No, SMT32 is right. So for the rest you just leave it as it is, and then you press escape and then save the configuration. You say yes, and then you type make. Now it's compiling. Alright, now just it has compiled the file into the folder out clipper.bin. So now we just close this program by, wait, hold on, exit. So now the next step that we have to do is find another micro SD card that you will have to put in your printer. So we plug it in our PC now. What I just did, just let me get this out of the way, and now it's empty. As you can see, I close this, and now we have to open another program which is called WinSCP, this one, and then we just log into our Raspberry Pi. We typed in fluidpi.local, and now the login is Pi and the password is Raspberry. There we go. This one is showing you the contents of your of your Raspberry Pi, and now we just choose here the drive that we just put in, the micro SD card, and here we just start from Klipper. We get in there and then choose folder out, and here is the file that we created with the putty, which is clipper.bin. Right click it, copy, and then paste it here. Just say OK. It just copied here, and now we have to open the USB, micro USB. Now we can see the file here. You have to rename this file because otherwise it won't flash it. Flash your printer. Change the name. We just say firmware 666. You have to don't put only firmware because it won't flash again. Just put firmware and then something behind it, like as I did 666. But if this is your second try or something, never use the same file name like firmware 666. If you have already used that, try 665 for example, like this, and then you just close this and you eject your micro SD card like now. It's all still running, so I have to close this one. Yes, and then try ejecting again. All right, now it's ejected. What you do now is take that micro SD card, put it in your printer, take off your original screen, plug it off, because if you plug it in, leave it plugged in, then sometimes it doesn't flash. So just unplug it and then turn, whilst the new SD card that you just made is in your printer, turn your printer on and wait about like 2 to 3 minutes. Just let it flash. It doesn't take that long, but just to make sure, just wait a little longer so that it flashes. And once it's flashed, you just turn your printer back off and take the micro SD card out of your printer. So now I plugged in my Raspberry Pi onto my printer, and it's all turned on. So after like 3 to 5 minutes, it's completely booted up. So now I'm going to log into my Raspberry Pi. Here, new tab, fluidpi.local. This is the address that you type in, and then you just wait, and it logged in. So Fluidpi is running on my Raspberry Pi, and it is connected to the printer, but I get an error message, unable to open config file. So what you have to do now is you have to put in a config file in your printer before you can just use anything. I mean, like print anything or try to connect to your printer X and Y and Z axis. So let's go to configuration. So here you can see there is no printer CFG file, the config file. What you can do is you can go to example configurations like here, and then find your Ender 3 or whichever printer that you have, you just find here, and you send it to the Fluidpi through here, like here, and then you just add it. But what I'm going to do, I already have a CFG file from the printer, so it's for the CR Touch that I'm also using. So I'm not gonna use one of these because this is the CR Touch is not implemented. You can also type in the implementation afterwards, but let's just say I'm not gonna use that file. So let's see here. So I just add it, I say upload. So I choose where my printer.cfg file is, which is here. I just click it and it's uploaded. Once it's in here, you can just open it up, and then you can see what which parameters that you gave to your printer. So you can see here the CR Touch or the BL Touch is included. What I always do is take this hashtag away from the Z offset, otherwise you have problems while doing the Z offset. So when this is good, you just save and restart. So now it gives me another fault, which is there is no config file for the macros. So I also have that file from the last configuration, and I will put all these in the link of description below, so you can just download it and just also use these files. So what I'm gonna do is add another file here, and then the macros CFG. I open it up, and then I go here, Klipper restart, and then it says the MCU file is well, there are some faults in the MCU command file. So there is also another stuff that's you have to do before it's all finished of the configuration. Let me check here. This also have to change later on. I will show everything that you have to change, no worries. And let me just first get how to fix this problem. So when you have to fix this problem, before you can see if there is actually a problem in this, you just go to system, and you have to let me see, no, settings, I'm sorry, and then here software updates, and you have to update everything that's has to be updated first before we can see if there is actually a problem. So I'm going to start with Fluid, start the update. It shouldn't take long, so it's already done. And let's just let it try the boot. I'm gonna help it. All right, so the first thing that I updated, nothing changed. So I'm gonna go to the second thing that the Klipper update. Let this run. I don't know how long this takes, but it shouldn't be too long. After all these things that I have to, or you have to update, there will be some other errors that you get, but it's all fixable, no worries about that. And once it's up and running, you don't have to do all these again. So it's just that's what I was talking about in the last video, that you need some help if you never used this before. It's these parts, and these parts are really something that you have to know what you have to do. So the third one is Moonraker that I'm updating. Just go here. So this also finished of updating, so you get this message, no problem. Just press it to done and wait a little, and then I will force it to refresh. This might take a while, but it will eventually get back because the Moonraker has just updated, so it's trying to reconnect. And sometimes it also helps to put in the fluidpi.local address. So, but we didn't have to. So now the red messages warnings have gone, and I have these messages to fix. And but let's, before we do that, we just also update the OS. Update it. It's giving me an error message. Let me just try it again. Also again. So we just have to try to restart. Klipper printer's not ready. Just wait a moment. All right, now just try it again. So we'll just update this later then. Just try this. let's first fix these problems. I think my SD card is full. I'm not sure, and that's why it's not giving the updates, but that's not a big issue at the moment. So when we have to do fix these problems, then you just go to this website from the Moonraker. So it says to correct these warnings, which we have now, you have to change this layout to this layout. See? So we just copy this, and then we go back to our Fluidpi and go to configuration, and then we open the Moonraker configuration here, and then you see this is what we have to change. So I just paste what I just got, but I couldn't get it, I guess. Okay, just try it again. Copy, and then here we just paste it. All right, and now what you can do is you can hashtag this out, but you don't have to because we just delete this. All right, and then I'm gonna say save and restart. Forced to restart. All right, now we have other warnings here, polkit warnings, latest permission to instruction, how to resolve. So if you don't know something how to check it or how to fix it, we just copy this. All right, and then we come here, a new tab, paste it, and then it's gonna say what we have to do. Okay, now it says we have to put in some commands to the Raspberry Pi that you have to do from PuTTY. You just go back to PuTTY, open it, fluidpi.local. We say accept, and then pi raspberry, right? And now you just copy all these parameters. Just copy, and then one by one you just give it to this screen, right? And then what's the second one? I think here. Okay, copy, and then do this one. It says the password is raspberry. All right, and then sudo to restart it, but I think it's already restarted. Just in case, we'll do it again. Okay, and now we can just type exit. We go back to our Fluidpi from here, and then we say force restart. Force refresh, and then reconnect. Just wait a little before it's as I said, sometimes it doesn't help, so you just go back to fluidpi.local, and then you just wait a little for it to restart. I think we all almost finished but the installation. I know these steps are a little sketchy. You just have to look around what to do and which files that you have to update. And once it's all done, as I said, once it's running, it's good to go. Let me pause a little because this might take a while. Oh no, I don't have to pause, so it's good. So now we're up and running, no problems. It's all installed, and this is your GUI on your PC, whatever your smartphone, whatever you're using. So I have no other problems. As you can see, no yellow or red warnings. um, Let me try to update it again. The last thing that I tried to update, let's see if it's working now. If it doesn't, it's not a problem. It's just I think my SD card, micro SD card is full. I'm not sure. Let me just try it again. No, it seems there was another issue. So if you follow the steps as I did now, you will be able to update it all. And you can see how much percentage is now, 31. It's going pretty fast. And once this is updated, then you only have to change a couple of things for your print bed size, for the type of extruder that you're using, a direct write from Sprite extruder, for example, or you're using just a Bowden tube, whatever you like. The moment I had to change it, I'm using a Sprite extruder, so I had to change it a little. But there is also example files that the file that you have to use for the Bowden tube is on there, but you can just copy that one and also use that one without any problems. So now it's installing the update from the OS. I really recommend you to do all of these updates, because an updated program is always performing better than when it's not updated. An update is for a reason. It will never be just without any reason. So I'll just pause the video and see when it's done. So now it's almost finished. It took about 5 minutes to update this OS. I guess it needed it. So I do clear, done. I press the button done, and then now you can see this is the temperature of my Raspberry Pi here in orange. It's getting pretty hot. It needs active, but I think this was because of the installation. It heated a little to 60 degrees, around 60 degrees, but not a big issue. You can see it also here. I press just the test to home all. Now it is homing, I can see it. All right, now let me go to configuration and show you guys the things that I changed on this configuration. I don't know why it's loading. Yeah, we got it. So for my bed size, for example, let me see, what did I change? All right, the stepper X and the stepper Y. Here you can change the position, maximum positions for your X and Y axis. And 240 was too much for me, so I changed this to 235. Both of them 235. 250 on the Z axis was okay, but on the CR touch or the BL touch on here, you can also change these values a little, but also let me see here, the bed mesh. When I was doing the bed mesh, it would hit the gantry. You know, it was just I think this is the x-axis and this is the z-axis. So you just change this. I had to change this to 189 to 190, and then it wouldn't hit the gantry, you know, on the x-axis. You can change these values as you would prefer, and you can also change your probe counts, like from 5 to this is 5 on the x-axis, 5 on the y-axis. That's what it means. So you can change these to like 6 by 6 or 7 by 7 or 8 by 8, 9 by 9. Depends on what you prefer, but I'm gonna leave it at 5 by 5. And these, let me see, and on extruder, this is rotation distance. You have to look this up. I will put a link in the descriptions about this. But this is for a sprite extruder, what you see here, but it's always different on any printer. So this might be, if you're using sprite extruder, this might be close to what it has to extrude, but you might have to change this. There's a formula to calculate this, but this one is a little over extruding on my printer, so I have to change this value. There are like automatic calculators. I don't know how reliable those are, but I'm gonna give you a website where you can see how to calculate it yourself and put it there. So this is the value that you have to change for the extrusion. And let me see, what else can I talk about? I don't think there is anything left here. And then I say save and restart. You will always get this message for a while because it's restarting, and then as you can see, it's all up and running. I hope it was pretty easy for you guys to follow. If it wasn't, you can just ask me questions on my Discord or through YouTube. My Discord link will be also in the description below. And the next video that I'm gonna make is gonna be about Klipper screen installation on this setup. At the moment, you don't have a Klipper screen, so you will only have this GUI from your printer, your smartphone, you name it. But if you want to use a touchscreen Klipper screen next to your printer, which I am also using, then please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and you will see the next video. So anyways, guys, this video was pretty long and it was one of my first tutorials, so keep that in mind. So hit the thumbs up if you liked the video, hit the thumbs down if you didn't like the video, subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more videos like this in the future. Bye.